The city breathes in a heavy mechanical rhythm while you stand on the edge of the rainy sidewalk with nothing but a dying phone in your hand. You watch the numbers on your screen flicker and fade, realizing that your existence has been reduced to a series of digital failures. Then the black screen clears to reveal a single notification from a sender with no name and no history. The offer is simple enough to be a trap, but you are desperate enough to call it an opportunity of a lifetime. A single brass key falls through your mail slot, cold and heavy, marking the beginning of your descent into the unknown. You find the matte black sedan waiting for you in the bowels of a concrete parking garage, its engine purring like a predator in the dark. Level 1 begins with a simple briefcase, its weight pulling on your shoulder as you navigate the labyrinth of the industrial district. You meet the first contact under the flickering buzz of a broken street lamp, handing over the cargo to a shadow that doesn't breathe. He pays you with a silver coin that feels unusually warm, stained with a dark substance that you refuse to identify as blood. The rules of the game change as you hit level 2, where curiosity becomes your greatest enemy and silence becomes your only protection. The fog rolls in as you drive toward the ancient cemetery, the headlights of your car barely cutting through the thick white veil of the night. You carry a glass jar filled with something that pulses with a rhythmic, organic light, feeling its heartbeat through the cold surface of the container. Something is watching you from behind the weathered tombstones, but you keep your eyes fixed on the path, following the digital breadcrumbs on your GPS. You leave the offering and hear a faint whisper in a language that was forgotten 1,000 years before you were born. The money hits your account with a sharp digital chime, but the sound feels hollow and heavy, like a tolling bell. By level 3, you are no longer a courier. You are a ghost moving through a city that has started to turn against you. A black SUV clings to your tail like a silent parasite, its presence felt in the rearview mirror, but never fully seen in the light. You push the pedal to the floor, hearing the scream of the engine as you drift through narrow alleys and forgotten tunnels. The police are nowhere to be found, and the laws of physics seem to bend as the shadows on the walls grow longer and sharper. You reach the abandoned subway station and deliver a bag that feels like a living, breathing heart, pulsing with a terrifying heat. The final ascent takes you to the apex of the city, a skyscraper of glass and steel that pierces the very fabric of the storm clouds. You move through high-tech corridors where the air tastes like ozone, carrying a metallic cylinder that vibrates with a low, haunting frequency. The elevator climbs forever, and when the doors finally open, you find yourself in a garden at the top of the world. A man in a white suit waits for you by a fountain of black ink, his face a perfect, terrifying blank of smooth skin. He tells you that the packages were never just cargo. They were the fragmented pieces of your own crumbling soul. In the basement of the world, you find the central server where every human life is stored as a fragile, flickering file on a screen. You see your own name and realize that you have a choice. Delete the past, embrace the power, or become the new architect. Your own hand reaches out from the darkness to touch your shoulder, cold as ice and familiar as a long-lost memory. You sit in the chair that was built for you, feeling the wires connect to your mind as the system accepts its new master. You send out the first notification to a lonely kid in a dark room, starting the cycle all over again. Welcome to the archive, where the shift never ends and the silence is the only thing that is truly yours. The money is finally in your account, but sleep refuses to come. Your room feels smaller, and the silence is louder than ever. Suddenly, your phone bypasses the silent mode, the screen flickering with a strange digital static. A single text message appears. Look out the window. You pull back the curtain to see a lone black van idling in the middle of the street. They know exactly who you are. The archive hasn't finished with you. It has chosen you for a promotion. Level 4, the infiltration. Your new destination isn't an alleyway, but the heart of the central bank. But your goal isn't the gold in the vault. It is the data in the shadows. You slide through the narrow ventilation shafts like a ghost, your every breath echoing against the cold metal. Red laser grids block your path, a lethal spider web protecting the city's deepest secrets. You use the brass key from your first delivery, and it fits perfectly into a futuristic digital lock. The server room opens before you, like a frozen forest of blue light and humming machinery. As you plug in the drive, the archive begins to download the city itself. Thousands of files flash before your eyes. The secrets of the elite, the lies of the powerful, and the hidden lives of millions. You feel the weight of this knowledge pressing against your skull, a heavy, suffocating crown of data. Suddenly, the room turns blood red as the alarms scream through the building. Security is closing in, but they are no longer human. They are metallic silhouettes with glowing red eyes. You have no choice but to jump from the 40th floor, falling into the cold embrace of the night. A drone catches you midair, its claws cold against your ribs as it carries you toward the tallest skyscraper in the city. This is it. Level 5, the architect's office. A man in a white suit waits for you in a room made of pure light. He has no face, only a mirror that reflects your own tired, terrified expression. He reveals the truth. The packages you delivered were never objects. They were the fragmented memories of the living. You were delivering people's souls to the archive. Now you must choose. Delete the system or become its new curator. You pick up the crown of fiber optic thorns and feel the data flow into your veins. Your old life is deleted. Your name is gone. You step into the back seat of the black SUV, holding the golden phone that now controls the city. You find a new target, a desperate girl in a cold basement, and you send the first $10,000. The cycle begins again. You are no longer a messenger. You are the archive. The crown of fiber optic wires doesn't just sit on your head. It has integrated into your consciousness. From the peak of this glass monolith, the city below has ceased to be a home. It is a sprawling, pulsing motherboard where every neon sign is a status light and every street is a data bus. You see the world in its rawest form, a sea of transactions, whispered secrets, and heartbeats, all rendered as flickering lines of emerald code. You are the architect now, the silent, invisible god of the POV archive. But every throne in this digital heaven is built on a foundation of loss. Your price? The loss of your own reflection. When you look into a mirror, you see only the void of the system looking back. Glitches are beginning to tear at the edges of your new reality. You watch the people below, realizing they move in perfect, agonizing loops. Their joys, their tragedies, their very destinies are scripted by the notifications you send from your golden console. The archive isn't just a record of what has happened. It is an engine that manufactures what must happen. You feel a sudden, violent urge to sabotage the machine, to delete the perfect cold world you have inherited and replace it with the beautiful chaos of the unknown. You descend into the deep core, a place where light doesn't reach. There, in the center of a room made of ancient stone and modern steel, lies the very first package. It is a dusty analog VHS tape, labeled with your own birthday in faded ink. As the magnetic tape spins, you see a world that wasn't made of pixels. You see yourself as a child, laughing under a sun that actually felt warm on your skin. The archive didn't just find you, it stole your past to build this hollow future. The realization is a cold spark in your mind, an error code that the system cannot fix. Your finger hovers over the master delete key, a single button that could shatter the glass jars and set every captured soul free. But the monitors show a terrifying truth. The city has forgotten how to breathe without the archive. If the system dies, the lights go out forever. You are trapped in a cage of absolute power, a curator of a race that has traded its freedom for a script. You look at the girl you chose as your successor, watching her silhouette struggle against the relentless artificial rain. You decide to rewrite the ending. You don't send her a task, you send her a warning. You begin to upload your own memories, the smell of rain, the warmth of the sun, the feeling of a real human hand, into the network like a digital virus. The skyscraper begins to groan under the weight of the truth. The city flickers, the neon dying for the very last time. You feel your stickman form dissolving into pure, blinding white light. You aren't dying. You are becoming the signal. You are breaking the loop. The screens go black. In the absolute silence, there is only the steady, rhythmic thumping of a human heart. The morning that follows is cold, quiet, and real. No phones vibrate. No GPS tells anyone where to turn. For the first time in a century, the future is a blank page. The archive is closed. The legend is over. You are finally home.